So, for example, if you were presented with McLaren F1, the imperiousness one gets from a Range Rover.
Ah, right, okay.
This is Rowan Atkinson. Most comedians need a punchline. He's built an entire career on not needing one. Sometimes a single expression is the whole joke. And it's been that way since long before Mr. Bean ever existed. These are some of his greatest moments.
It's the, the thing I find most tricky is when people don't recognize you particularly, but half recognize you. You know, it's that strange thing of where they go... and of course that means they stare. They stare a lot. And they just look. I was in a Land Rover parts department near Peterborough, the kind of place you find me on most Saturdays. Anyway, I was standing around with a group of guys, and I could see this guy doing that. And he came up to me after a while, and he said, "Excuse me, has anyone ever told you that you're the absolute spitting image of that Mr. Bean?" I said, "Well, actually, I am the actor who plays Mr. Bean." And he said, "I bet you wish you were."
Apparently, even a bank isn't convinced he's really him. But put Rowan in front of a camera and a TV host, and somehow it gets even funnier.
Obviously, you must get recognized all over the place in England, because your show is #1.
Yes, it's, yes. I mean, you know, it would be immodest and not very British of me to admit to any celebrity whatsoever, but I suppose in Britain I am pretty well known. But they're so distracted by the fact that they recognize you, and bank tellers last year, I went into a bank to cash a check, and I handed over the check, and she said, "Thank you," and she said, "Oh, Mr. Atkinson, I'm such an admirer of your work. Could you sign this piece of paper for my daughter?" So I signed the piece of paper, and I handed it back, and she took it back, she put it one side, and she looked at my check, and she said, "Now, do you have any means of identification?" And you think, well...
Turns out Rowan doesn't need a script to be funny in real life either. Sit him down with Elton John and it only gets worse.
I'm sure the first question that everybody would like to ask you is this. Funny name, Elton. How did you come by it?
Well, I used to be in a band, and I wanted to become a singer in my own right, and I wanted to choose a name, and the saxophone player in the band was called Elton, so I chose that name.
Hmm? Did you ever consider John Elton?
No.
You didn't? Okay. Right, well, let's start with those early albums, then. One of which I believe was called simply Elton John.
Yes, that's correct.
And you didn't feel awkward with the name at all?
No, I thought it sounded great, and, you know, I thought people would be more interested in the music rather than the name.
Hmm.
There's somebody there called Bob. Anybody else would read it and go, "Right, they're called Bob." You decided that Bob could be a funny word.
Right.
Now, how do you do that?
Well, it just seemed, it was always at the end of the sentence. It was, you know, so how can I help you, Bob? And it just seemed like a funny way of saying it, Bob.
Because I was wondering, I was looking at lists of motoring words the other day and wondering if you could just by saying them, make them funny. Just say the word.
Airbag. De Dion Bouton. That's a French word, isn't it? Petrol pump.
He can improvise a scene in seconds, but some of his best material isn't improvised at all. It's a story he's told 100 times, and it still lands.
I did a movie quite a while ago called Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Oh, yes.
In which Mr. Bean...
You're so casual about that. I did a film called Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Wow.
Well, does he look like an even bigger knob if he said, "Oh, well, of course you all know Mr. Bean's Holiday"? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
so it's
I'm trying to reduce my knob quotient.
This one starts with a credit card commercial and ends with some very specific advice from his wife.
I did a credit card commercial in New York a few years ago, and it was a story in which I had to play a bungling British secret agent. And there's this beautiful woman gets out of a limo in the middle of New York, and he sees her. And this scene was when I had to look at her as if I'd just fallen in love with her. Right. And the director said, just imagine that you've just seen your wife for the first time. And my wife happened to be on set at the time. And she said, no, that won't work. Tell him to look at her as if she's his new Aston Martin.
Oh, well,
And then it'll work.
oh, that'll work.
And she was right. In fact, it inspired me no end. I looked at her like no woman has ever been looked at.
Really? Can you give us that look? I'm curious.
Yeah. Can I do?
Here's the part most fans don't know. Mr. Bean wasn't written. He was discovered in front of a mirror with 48 hours notice and no script.
This guy goes up there, who he had never met before,
Right.
and holding just a piece of paper, he made everyone laugh for 7 minutes without saying a word. And he
Right.
said, that was you.
That was me.
Yeah, and he
Yes,
goes, it was
yes.
so, he found it so demoralizing. But you went up there and said nothing and absolutely killed the room. Do you remember what you did? Do you remember that night?
Yes, I certainly remember the night. It was a one-off. It was a one-night review, and I was asked if I wanted to do something, and I couldn't think of anything. And I'm not really a very diligent writer, so I thought I just stood in front of a mirror, to be honest, and I just started pulling faces. I mean, for want of a better term, and I just sort of, was doing this. And then there was this idea of having a card. Have you got anything that I could... Well, it was a piece of paper of where I would just... Can I stand up? And I came out just going... Anyway, it was something like that. I was based actually on a visit, on a holiday in Venice that I had in 1985. Well, wouldn't it be fun, because I had already started exploring just doing purely visual comedy, whether I could, do that on... I'd explored it on stage, and I was interested in trying to put visual comedy through the character of Mr. Bean on TV. And so that's where it started. Well, the first ones we did were in 1988, 89, and then it sort of grew from there, and now we've got this...
Weird, it's like it's got its own life.
So the most famous silent face in comedy started as a student with no material and a mirror. Everything since has just been him refusing to break character, except for the few times even he couldn't help it. This next one is a masterclass fantastic hypho. He impersonates a man to his face, and the man never catches on.
What would Mr. Bean reckon to all of this Formula One malarkey?
Well, he would enjoy it very much because he's a car enthusiast, as you know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he had some magnificent cars, didn't he?
Cars, then he'd enjoy it. But anyway, it's fantastic to be here. I'm a guest of George Russell, which is, it wasn't planned for me to be here on a weekend, when he got pole, but here we are.
Rowan Atkinson name-dropping. Whatever next?
I know. I'm here as a matter of fact, as a guest of George Russell. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Forget the whole thing. I'm going back home with Migsy.
Yes. Oh, show me the glen where the kipper roams free and together. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's got too funny.
Sorry.
Consulting with the wife.
You see, after back in the office on Friday, because...
Yeah, I know what you mean. It just strikes me as some idea.
I know. I'm going to look at you. You're looking at me. I understand everything.
I know what it's like. I mean, you've got a difficult job. 45 miles commuting every day. Laughing.
This is Ulrich. Crisis! No marriage, no money, and more bills. For the first time in my life, I've decided to follow a suggestion of yours.
If I may make so bold, a major crisis has arisen in your affairs. Yes, I know, Blackadder. I've been pondering it all morning.
Nothing I'd like more.
No, that's wrong. There's nothing I'd like more, Simon.
Indeed, I do.
Still running?
Yes, I normally stay till the end as well. Bye. You can go now if you wish.